Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to go over some of the progress I've made on my helmet. As you can see here, it's all taped up. Initially I did spray paint the jawline and some of the circle areas this metallic gunmetal silver. I just didn't like how it came out in contrast to the matte black on the rest of the helmet. So I just kind of scrapped that color design and spray painted the whole thing the matte black. And I really liked how that turned out a lot better. So once that dried out, I went over the whole helmet with the 2K matte clear coat. And this stuff is pretty harmful, so I just spray painted this outside and let the fumes off for about 24 hours just before I messed with the helmet again. But yeah, overall, really happy with how the color came out and the clear coat. Not too glossy or anything like that, just a kind of a nice flat black. And here are the panel pieces. I went ahead and spray painted and clear coated at the same time as the main helmet. So here's just at a glance, the color, matches pretty well. So once I was done with the paint, just removing all of the tape from the LED sockets. And then just for a fun little design thing, I picked this sticker up in Japan. I went ahead and cut the upper corners off, so it's kind of more of a point, but found the sticker that says I have a janky switch in my brain. So here I'm just trying to find a good place for it, and I thought on the panels would be nice because I can always make other panels and change them out if I need to, or have other panels with other little fun stickers on them. Then here are the motorcycle helmet pads that I bought off of Amazon. Just starting off with the front portion of the battery compartment, put this little square foam cushion in. I did take into account the measurements for these cushions before I even started sculpting my helmet, so it should come out pretty snug once they're installed. I couldn't install the large circular piece on the top of my helmet. It raises my helmet just a little too high, so I had to go with these more rectangular pieces that'll be kind of more towards the sides of my head. Whenever you do install these kind of Velcro stickers, just make sure the area is cleaned with alcohol, no dust or debris, just so it sticks pretty good. And here I'm just installing additional pads to the side compartments. And what's great about these is that they are velcroed in. So here I'm just putting it on my head and taking it back off and adjusting the placement how I need it, just so it's exactly to my specifications. So once I was happy with that, I just went ahead and installed the back hinge piece. Just kind of looking it over before I do my final install. And once the hinge piece was installed, just adding the lock buckle on the sides. And here's just a quick overview of what it should look like with the panels installed. And so far so good. Here is a test fit of the helmet with the motorcycle helmet pads installed. Now the helmet doesn't wiggle or jiggle. It's a really nice snug fit, and it's not raised too high to where my chin's sticking out from the bottom. Here's just the side view. With the buckle, I can either have the turn little buckle piece facing up or down, so just whatever looks good. So now I was ready to install all my circuitry, starting off with the battery. Here I'm just placing it into position and putting the back panel on so it doesn't keep falling out while I'm trying to put the rest of the circuitry in. Here is the battery charger piece with the 3 volts output pins. And then it'll go out to my distributor that I made previously. And I'm just trying to do an overview of how my circuits should be placed and kind of testing my circuits still. But then I wanted to change up my design, and so I went back to the drawing board for my 5 volt output and my 3 volt distributor, and just combining it all into one piece. That way it kind of saves on the space and everything like that. So here are my janky old circuitry, and here's my new one I'm working on. I just soldered the pins onto this board. And then here are my old janky circuits again, and here is the new design. So the entire thing is just going to be a 5 volts output. And I went back and soldered in better wires for my power on switch as well, just so it's a little bit stiffer and not that flimsy stuff. So here's without any of this Arduino or anything like that. This is just the power on button, and it with my new circuit board looks a lot better. And now to install some of the LEDs. The little side LEDs didn't quite fit initially, so I did have to go back and sand off a little bit from the LED before it would fit in. Here's the side switch. And here is the center LED. I did kind of mess up the bottom lip of the receptacle when I was trying to install this, so I'll have to go back and do a little bit of paint touch up. But yeah, here are all 3 LEDs installed. And then just finish feeding through the LED wires from the sides into the side with the side compartment with the Arduino, and just testing the circuit again once everything was installed. So inside the helmet, it's a mess, so I went through and tried to organize all the wiring, just so it's a little bit neater. So this is what it looks like after I kind of routed the wires a little more neat, just held in place with electrical tape. And here are all the cushions installed. So then I was ready to panel up everything. Here I'm just installing the rubber sheet before the panel, because I am trying to make this waterproof, and then install all of the little 3mm screws. With the last panel, it was a snug fit, so I just left the screws out of it. But yeah, overall, coming together. Just turning on the switch, and then my LEDs come on. Right, and for the final part of this video, I'm going to go over my headphones. Here's a motorcycle helmet, like a headphone and microphone, and headphone replacement pads. I bought these both off of Amazon, but I needed something that would put the two pieces together. So I had this plastic sheet, and it's kind of hard to see in the video, but I drew out a bunch of these little circles, kind of like rings. It's going to be the receptacle for the speaker portion of the headphone, and it's going to be recessed a little bit, and then it's going to have a little lip at the top to hold the cushion piece into place. So I don't have the best tools, so I had to kind of do this with just cutting and drilling and a little bit of Dremel here and there. Here I'm just cutting off the excess around the ring that I need. Once I had the two first rings, I just went ahead and super glued it, and my thought was to go ahead and put the two pieces together so I can make the cutout for the inner pieces a little bit easier. But yeah, just tried all different kind of ways. Here I just drilled a bunch of holes and then Dremeled the inside to a nice ring, and just kind of put the pieces together. So here is the receptacle for the speaker part, and then there's that little lip where the ear cushion piece will go into. So here's kind of how it should look like. Granted, the other side is going to be a little bit different since it has a slot, or needs a slot for the microphone piece. So instead of building a whole nother one for the other side, I just went ahead and put some clay around the bottom to make it a little smooth, and put it in this little cardboard square so that I could make a silicone mold of it, and I can just cast a few pieces out and modify it as I need it. Once the cure was done, I just pulled it from its housing here, and then took out the original piece. There was a little bit of a bubble in the little groove for the ear cushion piece, but I just went back over it with a cutoff wheel on the Dremel and got into that groove to flatten it back out. So here are the two pieces, and here I'm just doing some finishing touch-ups, and this piece right here I'm just giving it the cutout for the microphone piece, and just a test fit. All right, looking pretty good. Now for the left side. Alright, so now I'm ready to install it to my helmet. To install it, I got these kind of, not quite Velcro, these kind of like little plastic Velcro looking thing, command strips from the store. I just cut it to the length I needed and then installed it to the earpiece first. Get it into position, then take the peel off and get into the position I wanted inside the helmet, and then do the same thing with the other side. And like the motorcycle helmet cushion pads, since it's kind of like this Velcro thing with the earpieces, I can adjust it how I need to and just kind of push it back onto place. I think the left side went on pretty good. The right hand side, I had to keep adjusting it to get the microphone into a better position. So this is kind of what it looks like after my final install. Just kind of have a better curve for the microphone piece. It sits right there at the jaw line. But yeah, I think it is coming along pretty nicely, just kind of how I wanted it. I will do some finishing touch-ups for maybe some of the wiring to make it a little more hidden. Yeah, here's just a test with everything installed. Alright, well that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.